What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? This is Matt the Tomato right here. Thank you ever so much for tuning in and welcome, to a quick introduction video. So it's been a while since I've actually played anything on the channel. Hello, yes, I'm alive. Basically, life is the reason why. Between moving home, starting a new job, building the new home, and having a one-year-old daughter. Yeah, life. So basically had no time for anything else at all. So I've had no time for YouTube. I've had no time for like, even socializing. We hardly ever actually see anybody these days, which is a real shame. We still stay in touch with our friends, but yeah. So life is quite busy at the moment, and so I haven't actually been able to do much in the way of recordings or anything like that. But I have a little bit of time coming up soon. I've got quite a bit of time away from home for work. So I will actually be able to sit down and do some recording, which is quite nice. So I actually wanted to resume the sort of the channel by sort of starting a little mini series that I'm going to call Free for Alls. And basically, we're just going to play some games and we're going to do free-for-alls and stuff like that. But really what I wanted to do before that is I wanted to actually introduce this map in Age of Mythology. So this is a scenario in Age of Mythology. This is made by Smitty55, and I wanted to introduce it because it is actually wicked. Like, it is actually really, really cool. And there's reasons why, and I'll go into those in just a minute. But firstly, you'll notice the map here. It's the world. So it's a world map. It's got very elaborate Arctic and Antarctic areas, as you can see. And there's sort of, there's a few other islands and things like that kicking around. So it's a world map. And there's a lot of world maps out there on the Steam Workshop, and a lot of them are really, really cool. This one, though, in particular, I really, really enjoy because I can play this one on my own because it is compatible with the AI. Now, a lot of the world map ones is usually like a settlers where you have to actually like migrate, you start on a transport ship and things like that, and the AI just can't do that. And so world maps tend to be multiplayer only. This one, though, is actually able to be played with the AI. And the reason I think is because when it comes to the settlers aspect, you as the player are the only one doing the settling. The AI is actually starts in positions around the world, and they have settlements, already established, and they can build up and stuff like that. And so therefore, the AI is able to work with that. And actually, if you play on the higher difficulties, it is incredibly difficult to win this. And it's a really cool challenge, and I quite like it. I tend to play on the moderate difficulty, firstly because I'm not such a good player, but also it can get a little bit overwhelming sometimes because the AI is really difficult. But also, the interesting thing is there's 8 players, and it's a free for all. So you are fighting 7 AI, but equally those AI are also fighting each other. And there's actually been times where I've been building up a little bit of a base, and AIs are killing each other, and things are happening, and it's quite funny. You can't see what's going on, but it's happening, and you can see like the chat, like the AI talks to itself and stuff like that. It's really, really weird. Anyway, so that's that. So the whole premise is you start on what is Cuba in the Caribbean. You start here with 4 citizens and Arcantos. If I just return to the game, you start here with 4 citizens and Arcantos, and you can see already the AI is off on its shenanigans here, and you get a longboat, and basically, you need to try and find somewhere to settle. See, they're already starting to fight each other over there. Okay. So let's just try and ignore that chat. But basically, yeah. So it's the other thing I really like about this is it's played on revealed. So the map is always revealed. It doesn't go dark at any time. However, it's played on revealed, but you can't see resources. So you can see stuff, but you can't see things like forests. You can't see where the food is. You can't see where the fish is in the ocean. And in general, it's quite cool. Like you can sort of earmark a spot. I don't know. Say I want to do that. Okay, we can see an elephant there. But I don't know, say we earmark this spot here over here, we can clearly see there's a deer, but we have no idea as to what's around here. Like, there might be an absolute big pile of trees in this area, or something like that. Or equally, we might decide to, like, settle here, and there's absolutely nothing around, and we're completely screwed. And so it's really interesting, and over time, I suppose, if you played this countless times, you would eventually learn where everything is. And but that would take a long time, and you'd have to play this quite a lot, and that would be a lot of time. So I think this is one of those ones that eventually you would get to know everything, but ultimately it will take a long time, and so it's actually going to be fun for quite a long time. So that's that. The other thing that I quite like about it is obviously it's compatible with the AI, but also there's just a really there's a lot of strategies here. So the AI starts in fixed positions, but they don't always remain in those fixed positions, which is quite interesting. So sometimes we've seen, I mean, I've played this 3 or 4 times. I've tried 3 or 4 different strategies, and I've seen AI move around a little bit. So as something that I do know, like an AI, I think there's an AI that spawns somewhere over here in North America, and I've seen that same AI end up at the bottom here in South America, for example. I've seen that happen because they just migrate, they move. Which is quite an interesting thing. And so there's, it offers different dynamics. Not every game is exactly the same, and I really, really like that. The other thing that I find quite cool is there are countless things. So there's Mother Nature and stuff like that kicking around here. There are actually a hell of a lot of dangers beyond the AI players. So, for instance, one thing that I do know is up here in the Arctic, if you can make it up this way, up here in this Arctic area, there are a hell of a lot of krakens. So obviously, if you put all your guys onto a boat and you decide to disappear and you get eaten by a kraken, your game is over straight away, and it can be quite fun. There's also things like pirates kicking around. There are random myth units that are in some strange areas. And it's overall it's really fun. I absolutely love this. I've done three or four different strategies, and they've all had mixed success. So the first strategy I had was to go to Madagascar, and I did the sort of build on an island, try and sort of huddle up, build a big navy, and try and like sort of get a bit of an economy going on an island without risking land attack. I tried that one. That was very successful. Equally, I tried the aggressive one, so trying to sort of pitch up near an AI and trying to sort of beat them to resources and get an early skirmish going on, and it got absolutely destroyed because I pitched up too close to them. You start in the Archaic Age, all of the AIs are actually quite significantly ahead of you because you've got to obviously travel to get to those settlements. You've got to build the settlements, and by which time the AI has probably advanced to the next age and is sending troops your way. So you've got that conundrum. So trying to find the balance, but equally, of course, if you're a very see, look, this purple's already advanced to the classical age, like we're 4 minutes into the game. Like, come on. The other interesting thing that I quite like as well is the whole basically population is ignored. Because you have 10,000 population slots. So you have the ability to absolutely spam humongous armies. And the AI is very good at that. So you will very quickly find if you do pitch up near an AI and you don't build up your resources quickly, you will just get absolutely overwhelmed. Equally, you could get lucky and pitch up next to an AI that is also being fought by another AI. And so they end up, you end up in this three-way tussle, and it can be quite interesting to see how it all works. But it's fun, yeah. So I've tried the Madagascar strategy, I've tried the aggressive strategy, I've tried the middle grounds ish as well. I made it to the Arctic area once, but ultimately, by the time I made it there and made it all the way up there, the AI was so strong that I basically resigned because I was like, they had 400 population and these humongous armies. It was never ever going to catch up, and was being consistently bombarded with like transports coming over and onager fire, and it was just impossible. It was just absolutely impossible. So I ended up quitting. There was one game that I managed to get close to winning, but didn't actually win. The only other thing that I think I need to mention at this point is you can see by the scores, there's a couple of AI that are going quite far ahead, and there's these two at the bottom here. So sometimes these two glitch out, and I think the reason for that is because they are, it's purely for the game that I've got installed, because I think their civilizations are from the Asian expansion. I think they're the Chinese and some other civilization, and I don't have that installed at the moment, so they sometimes glitch out, and so then they don't actually play the game, but sometimes they do play a game. So I don't know what they've got here. So they're all actually, oh, so they're all Zeus in this one, which is quite interesting. Sometimes these change. I think I've seen these change. Most of the time, though, when I spawn in as the player, I've noticed I always start as Oranos. So I think you kind of resign to playing as the Atlanteans. I haven't really found a way of actually trying to play as a different civilization. I suppose maybe you could go into the like the map editor. You might be able to go into there and sort of change the civilization that you start as. That's quite possible, I think. So that might be something that you might consider doing. But I'm going to put a link. See the AI just randomly gathering relics. I'm going to put a link to this in the description, and I think I'm quite keen to play a couple of games of this and see where this goes. Yeah, I just wanted to showcase this because I think this is wicked. I genuinely think this is wicked, and there's a million and one possible starts, and there's a million and one things that can happen. So I kind of want to play a game, a recorded game with this, and I want to see what is going to happen. So yeah, if you're particularly interested in this, let me know, and of course check out the map if you're an Age of Mythology player. Otherwise, it's nice to be back. Nice to be playing games again. It's nice to be back on YouTube. And yeah, all the best to everybody. And hopefully, if you are interested in anything that I'm going to be posting in the future, please consider subscribing. Thank you.